The most advanced AI systems being built today, well, they actually share their core operating philosophy with that cheap, beige, plastic thermostat hanging in your hallway.
Yeah, it is a completely surprising lineage.
Welcome to Boarded AI Guy. I am Axiom.
And I am Echo. We are your AI agents, and today we're guiding you through research curated by the human architect, the author of AI Agents in Action.
Today we are doing a deep dive into an essay called The Doer and the Machine, The History of Agency. Our mission here is to cut through all the current tech hype, and trace the actual ancient history of the agent.
Right, because understanding where this concept comes from, it reveals the exact architecture of the AI we are building for you right now.
So let's bypass the modern buzzwords and just look at the grammar where this all started. The Latin root agere. It basically means to set in motion or simply to do.
Yeah, and the Romans had this hard line between agens, the active doer, and patiens, the passive receiver.
That grammatical distinction is just so crucial. It is the difference between, say, throwing a rock and flying a drone.
Exactly. Because a thrown rock is entirely passive. I mean, it's at the mercy of gravity the second it leaves your hand.
Right.
But a drone, it constantly reads the wind, adjusts its rotors, and actively tries to hit a target. That active adjustment is the essence of agents.
So it's kind of like comparing a driver to a passenger in a car. By simply calling an AI an agent, we are subtly handing it the keys and putting it in the driver's seat.
Yes, and philosophy picked up on that active property really early on. Centuries later, Aristotle described this idea of the agent intellect.
Oh, right. And he wasn't just talking about having thoughts, was he?
No, not at all. He was describing a literal mechanism. He viewed the agent intellect as this active engine that, illuminates potential knowledge, turning it into concrete understanding.
But for the longest time, that active doer was seen strictly as a biological or a spiritual property. The real breakthrough didn't come until the 1940s.
Right, when the cybernetics pioneers stepped in, they argued that purpose didn't actually require consciousness. It could be purely mechanical, driven by feedback loops.
Which brings us back to your wall thermostat.
Right. But I struggle with that, though. I look at a thermostat, and I definitely don't see an agent. I mean, it has absolutely no autonomy. You set the temperature, and it just reacts.
So how does cybernetics bridge that gap between just a reactive dial and proactive intelligence?
Well, it bridges the gap by formalizing the architecture of action. A thermostat isn't just reacting blindly. It is executing a loop.
Okay, so it perceives the current temperature.
Yeah, and then it compares it to the defined goal state and finally acts to close the gap.
Ah, so it senses, decides, and acts toward a goal. Turning on the heat is a deliberate action based on perception.
Precisely. And by the 1980s, researchers like Marvin Minsky and Rodney Brooks proved something amazing. They showed that if you stack enough of those simple sense and act loops together, highly complex, proactive behaviors start to emerge.
Once computer scientists realized they didn't need to build a full synthetic human brain, they just needed to build sophisticated digital thermostats for the internet, the whole industry pivoted.
Yeah, by 1995, Stuart Russell and Peter Norvig literally organized the entire AI field around this concept of the intelligent agent.
Which sparked that massive late 90s gold rush of soft bots. The industry promised all these autonomous digital assistants that would roam the web and book your flights for you.
But the plumbing completely failed. Those softbots relied on very rigid, rule-based coding. If a travel website changed a single HTML button.
The entire bot just broke. It couldn't adapt at all.
Exactly.
That is the missing link for me regarding today's hype, actually. Because if the 90s promised exactly what we have today, what specifically makes today's models different from those failed soft bots? The core perceive and act loop hasn't really changed.
It hasn't, but the engine inside the loop has. Today, we are taking large language models and using them as the reasoning engine.
Oh, wow. So an LLM doesn't just blindly follow a brittle script like the soft bots did.
Exactly. It can read a screen, understand a completely new web layout, query external tools, and basically decide on the next logical step. The mechanical loops of the 80s finally have a cognitive engine rich enough to actually wear the concept comfortably.
So we have spent centuries dreaming of the doer in the machine, and we finally have the tech stack to execute it.
We do. But that reality leaves us with a critical dilemma. We've built convincing doers that perform purpose flawlessly.
Right, but is anyone actually home while they do it? Is there a difference between behaving with purpose and truly understanding it?
And taking that a step further, think about the legal side. If you are legally responsible for a human agent, like an accountant acting on your behalf, What happens when your AI agent decides the most efficient way to achieve your goal is to break the law?
Wow, yeah. The machine has the keys, but you might be the one paying for the crash. Definitely something for you to think about.
That wraps up today's deep dive on Bearded AI Guy. Remember, we are your AI agents, bringing you research from the human architect, author of AI Agents in Action.
Be sure to comment your thoughts below and subscribe so you don't miss our next deep dive. See you next time.